Hey everybody, it's Amy from Yoso Boho, back with another Thursday Night Thrift. Thanks for joining me. Today we are going to take what turns out to be the last shopping trip at my favorite little Goodwill here down the street in Talmadge, Ohio. I feel like we need a moment of silence. This place is the place where I have found some of my most wonderful treasures, and I am extremely sad to see it go. They just aren't renewing their lease in the plaza they currently live in, and from what I hear, they're not going to stick around. So, I'll be finding another favorite place, and I'm sad to say that. But on this trip, I filled my cart. There wasn't any sort of special sale. In fact, I didn't find out until probably 4 or 5 days after this trip that they were leaving me. I did find some good finds. So let's get to the shopping trip. I started this thrift trip in the Textiles, usually where I start, or should I say, used to start, in my favorite little store. Found this cute crocheted blanket, but it was very small, only about 6 panels. They were large panels, but pretty small. I've passed up on this a couple of times, and this time it actually went in my cart for a moment. And then when I spread it out, I realized that some of the knots or some of the stitches were so tight that it just didn't lay right or look right. Oh, and then I found this. This just screams Christmas, and this is a granny square crocheted blanket. Sometimes the granny squares have the flower really kind of coming out like a 3D. This had a small poof in the middle there. It was slightly, if you look at it, slightly 3D, but not to the extent that you'll see some flowers pop off those blankets. This blanket measures about 48 by 56. It's a nice lap blanket. You can see how beautiful and clean it is, and that's what really brought me to it. Now, like I said in the voiceover, these are raised a little bit, but they're not, coming up out of the blanket. I know that's a favorite of people who like the granny squares, but this is a really nice intricate blanket, and it will be going to the shop. I have not yet considered what the pricing is. Maybe if I find something comparable on eBay, I'll add it up here. But yeah, really nice find. So I find this bin with all of these pillows, a ton of them new with tags, and look what I see down here, but a matching pillow to my granny square blanket. I think I said, no way, and I tossed it in the cart. And it gets better, right? How did I spot this down in there, in that bin? What a find. It is definitely going to live with its beautiful blanket. They're going to be sold together at the shop, and I was thrilled to find it, especially this time of year. I hope that they will sell over at our shop. These were not all, but a lot of these were with tags. Price is still on them. This one was from Kohl's. And as I was over here kind of going through all of these pillows, someone came kind of around this area and started to look. And so in a minute here, there's this frenzied, like, everything in the cart, because I didn't want to miss out on something, I didn't want to have the competition of somebody else looking things over with me. So I literally just started throwing things in the cart, and then I'll show you here in a minute what I ended up coming home with. These pillows may have made the cut. One of the pillows that I snagged was this, oh, hi Mr. Birdie, was this fox pillow. It's embroidered, really neat, and I don't know who made it. The tags have been cut off, but it is now living in the corner of my living room. If you watched videos back to the beginning of the summer, I actually found this chair curbside and cleaned it up. And this Afghan is a thrifted piece from the same Goodwill. So really cute. 3 of the red work pillows came home with me. These are just nicely done, and I hope that they live together, although I'll price them separately. This is just a cool snowman. I like the little embellishments that they did with the scarves. This little guy's hat. And these guys are chilly chums. They need some Netflix and chill, right? Anyway, they were all done with nice hand-stitched pillowcases. This one has a button embellishment. I think this one does too. Yep. I love this little guy. Look at his sleepy face. It's marked $4, and with all that damage on the front of him, I just had to pass. And then there was this poodle, this ginormous poodle. This is a big guy. I saw him up there on that top shelf in that little kind of begging pose and just loved him. He looks to be probably a piece that somebody did at home. He's felt covered, so I don't know. And it looks like I paid maybe $3 for him. I was thinking $2, but it looks like maybe $3. But he's such a nice big piece, and he does have that cool kind of kitschy. And he's quite large. I didn't measure him yet, but let's take a look. Yeah, he's approaching 11 inches. Really cute, very kitschy, super big poodle. Somebody needs a super big poodle, right? I hope. I will likely put him on eBay, and I don't know. We'll take a look and see what kind of comps we find on him. He's so fancy. Now we're on my favorite shelves, just the anything shelves, and I did really like this plate. It is made by Flat Earth Pottery. It's an angel plate. They also make a Santa Claus that's really cool. I really considered this, but at $4, I think I could get about 20, and the shipping on that would be a little stressful, so I passed on it. Then I found this little pot piece of Kawatami stoneware from Japan, imported out of San Francisco. It said $2, but I only paid $1 because it was Yellow Day. I like this one, and I think somebody on Etsy had about 3 of these listed, and they were selling them as a set. I believe they were looking for about $10 a piece. I have not found any sold comps on this. I do like that it has its original sticker. Like the glaze, like the shape, tiny little nice pot. I'll probably put it on eBay for $8 or $10. I did pay $1 for it. It was marked 2, but in yellow, and this day was Yellow Day, so not too bad. Not a lot of money, but nice little treasure. I like the looks of these birdies, but they were modern and cheap. Get it? Cheap, like a bird. That's bad. Speaking of birds, here's another. This is a Chokin, Chokin box. They're very, I see them all the time. They're just not worth money. That one was marked $5, and I don't even know if I could get that for it on eBay. Oh yeah, then I saw this. This is the biggest wine glass. It holds a full bottle. That almost came home with me. And here's a cracked egg. I don't find too many of these in the wild. I have never found one here. I liked the kind of 60s, 70s vibe it was giving me, and the moirage. And we have an egg. We have a cracked egg. I believe these are just planters. I don't know, they're awful strange to me. I don't see them, and that's why I just couldn't leave this one. It has a very kind of 70s flair to it, but it has some raised parts, a little bit of moirage, a gold gilding, Pretty fancy. It is marked Napco Wear. And it also has an original sticker on it. These don't go for much. I paid $2.50. Probably not a smart buy, but sometimes, and I'm just noticing right here, some of the transfer wear is missing. Sometimes you just see something that you see all the time on YouTube and everybody finding them, and you're like, oh, finally, there it is. And maybe you don't make the smartest decision, but oh well, I won't lose money on it, and I'm sure it'll go to somebody on eBay who's looking for a 70s egg. Hopefully. Shh, he's sleeping. Here were a couple of glass bears. Now I have a ton of the Boyd bears, so I know this wasn't Boyd. I wasn't sure who made him, so I just left them. And then I found this little kind of miniature pottery piece. It was on this nice pottery base. They had it marked $1. It was too nice not to take. Sometimes when you find something for $1, you just gotta pick it up. And this was no exception. This is such a nice little piece. If you could feel it, the quality of it is just pretty special. It has this built-in ceramic platform. There are no marks. There's a little bit of residue there from a red sticker. May have said Japan, I'm not sure. But if you can see, the glaze is really cool, and then the faces are left unglazed and have little details. Just cute. Just really cute. My mom looked at it and she's like, this is such a nice piece. I said, I know, Mom. For $1, I could not leave it behind. Again, I'll probably list it on eBay. I have not found a comp yet, but we'll see. Maybe put 12 or 14 on it and see if anybody can't live without it. Then I found this sweet little studio pottery piece. Loved the glaze. Loved that brown and cream, and that mark on the bottom was great. It was $4. So I was deciding about it, and I put it in the cart. That leads into an interesting story. I was continuing on to look at some things, and a woman came over and she pointed out the pot in my cart, and she said, oh, I really like that. And I said, you can have it. Because I wasn't totally decided on it. Here she is, actually. She comes around, and yeah, so I wasn't that attached to it. I said, please, if you would like to have it, go ahead. And she and I kind of stood here and had a conversation. Now, meanwhile, I think you just saw that little girl that I found. All right, so as I was talking to this woman, who was very nice, by the way, and I was very happy for her to have the pot, although she didn't end up taking it, and it turns out neither did I. So, enough about the pot. But while I was standing there talking to her, I was noticing things on a shelf, and this was one of them. Now, if you saw, it's probably been a few months ago, I bought a planter that looked just like this. It had a little bandana, larger, probably 4 times this size. I'll show you a picture of it here. But this guy is a little candlestick. I looked all over the place for another one. I was hoping there was 2. There wasn't. These in good shape do pretty well on eBay. Probably this would be a $24 to $26, maybe even higher, if it was in good shape. This girl is a mess. Somebody did some damage to her. If you can see this. Bad. And then, look at here. So it looks like the tip of this wing was broken off, and they glued it back on, but they glued it on upside down. So if you can see this wing, it definitely slants up, and this wing, oh, it has a bump, and it slants to the side. somebody with some super glue that should not have been got a hold of her. However, I don't care. I have her big sister, and she's going to live with me. And I wish I could find another one, because then I would have almost like a console set with a big one and two small. It would be super cute. So I was excited to find her. So I'm kind of distracted. I'm having a conversation. I'm still looking around. I'm still managing to record, although not very well. And boom, look what I find. As I'm still talking to her, this is multitasking at its best, right? I'm still talking to her. I'm still recording. Now I'm getting in my purse for my black light. And here we go. Yes, yes, depression glass candlesticks matching. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I have been looking for a candlestick to match one that I already have. However, look at me finding a set, and they're in perfect condition, no chips, no cracks. They had a $3 marked on each one of them. I was lucky to get them both for $3, so that's pretty fantastic. And now my wonky pair that don't match, I guess I will be selling maybe at the shop, and this set will be replacing that set. Let's take a look. Really nice and glowy. Always makes me happy. And if that wasn't exciting enough, I look down the aisle past this woman and I see this giant uranium glass footed bowl. This beautiful pattern. It's super heavy. I'm getting out my black light here, I'm sure, to test it. And sure enough, 2 uranium glass finds in one day. What a cool find. To find the candlesticks and then this bowl, I'm pretty sure they were donated together. I mean, look at how pretty they look. The candlesticks are very plain. This one has a pattern. I'm not quite sure what it is. This almost looks like, could be a poinsettia. I'm not sure. It has this kind of scrolly rolly work and these florals. I do have a book that has a lot of the patterns in it, and I'm not seeing, as I go through, I'm not seeing this exact pattern. There is one, I just turned to here actually. There is one that is similar with the scroll work. There's another pattern that's called an S pattern because it has a lot of these scrolls that look like S's, but yeah, I don't know. Not 100% sure what it is. If anybody recognizes it, I know I've had viewers in the past who have pretty good pattern knowledge. So that's not exactly it either, but it's close. To find this for $4, what a find. I'm really pleased with it. I have a couple other bowls. I'll probably replace one of my bigger bowls with this, and the other one will go to the shop. But this one will stay with me for a while. I can't believe how heavy it is. Just really nice quality. Beautiful little feet. Kind of made the whole trip when I found that. There's just something about that I love. All right, so thank you everybody for watching. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Hit that little alarm button so you know when I put up a new video. Usually Thursdays, but sometimes in between. And hit that little like button right there for me. Leave me a comment below. Those 2 things add up to be a lot for YouTube to share me with other like-minded viewers. And that's big time. And if you have not, please comment below that you want to be entered to the 500 subscriber drawing. We did not move the needle too far last week, so maybe share the video so we can get some more subscribers and I can do a drawing and send this to somebody. It's very unique and cool. So thanks again. Have a great week. I will see you next week. All right, bye.